Okay, this confirmation stack. And I call it a confirmation stack because the WTMA by itself can give you that early entry confirmation. And a lot of times you will see it happen, but it'd be like a gap between them. But when you see that WTMA that deep down in the order block and you're getting a level 3, these are very, very bullish level 3 confirmation or confirmation stacks because you got the inverse and the level 3 kind of stack right on top of each other for like a very strong push. I'm gonna try to find a counter version of it though. And this is like kind of close, but not really. But when you see a level 3, right? So this is a decent level 3, but you see how the arc is way down. The arc is the inverse arc. The early entry is way down here. So you had all this momentum that pushed up, and then you get to level 3 kind of at the tail end of the move. And so this is not. If I pull this back in replay mode, you're probably gonna see resistance really close to this level. What I'm looking for is a trade where you got an inverse arc and the WTMA was already moving fast. Maybe I need to go to the lower time frame. The WTMA was already moving and had already turned bearish as you were getting a trend line break. I'm looking for a trade set up like that. Because it'll start, or if you see the WTMA creeping up too fast after the trend line break. But while I'm looking for that, if anybody else got a question, you can ask as well.
Just one more question for you. Hey, for the Black Wolf, should we be using like 5.2? Should we be using Shon-TheWolf AI 4.0? What's the best setup for that?
You can use 5.2. You can use 5.2 with it. It had interrupted mine. And inside of the this is a close example. Inside of the Discord, if you go to mastering Black Wolf. Now, for anybody new, when you get in, some of these channels may not be the default channels that you see. You can go to channels and roles, and then you want to select under browse channels. You can select the channels you want to see in there, right? But down here where it says mastering Black Wolf, we have like recalibration. So if you go to 5, what I'm saying is if you go to 5.2 and say your Black Wolf seems a little off, you can put a recalibration command inside of a Black Wolf. And if you go in here and just ask, if you don't have that command, just ask for the recalibration command. Or if somebody's on the call that has it, go ahead and post it in here and I'll pin it to the bottom of the page. But you can post that recalibration and it'll act, saying just like it was acting in 4, is accuracy. And it'll, make sure your trade plans and everything are on point. But 5.2 is it's a smarter chat GPT, so it's worth using that one dominantly.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
What now I know you use probably the pro membership on TradeView. Because that's the volume profile that you see like on the side, because mine is like only on the bottom. Or is it something like that I could put on there? Because I'm only using the free version, which I can definitely pay, for the other versions. But how do I get that on the side?
So with the free version, you can only have 2 indicators,
Okay.
which that covers the full wolf chart, right? Now, if you pay for the plus subscription, it gives you 5 indicators. But with plus, you can have and you can have the VRVP with the free version, but you would have to delete part of your wolf chart, which what I'm saying, I wouldn't recommend that. But if anybody can get the anybody with plus or higher can get the VRVP, you just type in VRVP.
VRVP, okay.
VRVP, and then you're going to click on this one that says visible range volume profile.
Okay.
And then you click that. It's going to give you these thicker blocks. Let me hide mine. So it's going to look like this, right? You see how this volume profile is right here on the side. All you have to do is just double click on one of these pink bars or blue, whatever. Just double click it. It'll take you into the settings to make it more fine, like mine. like more pinpoint accurate as far as what volume is actually pointing out,
Mm-hmm.
you turn your row size to 200, and then your value area volume, you change that to 100, and then it'll make it look like this type of volume.
Okay. And that you essential, right?
Hmm?
Do you think it's like essential to have that on the side?
Yeah, whatever the first pay one is. I didn't mean to say plus. Like essentials, like whichever one gives you more than two indicators. Essentials, it works fine on essentials or plus or the other one, but essentials is all you really need.
Okay. But like for it to be on the side like that, do you think it like helps the trade? Like help us
Yes,
better?
yeah. So it helps in this sense. You know, what I'm saying your your historical support and resistance levels kind of give you the same information, but
Mm-hmm.
the volume profile, since it's telling you about actual volume, like historical volume, it just gives you like a really good picture, you know what I'm saying, of where the volume is on a chart, right? So like right here, for
And it was
example,
like pointed to the 200, and that kind of confirms like an A plus trade. And you actually seeing the volume like on the side.
yeah. So
Oh,
like so
okay.
so like this example right here, you see how this volume was here, but smart money came back in, but this is still showing like a historical picture where volume is on Visa.
Right.
You see, it's already showing us an A plus trade, and we covered that range already. But when it pulled back, it came right down to where actual volume is, and we can see that ahead of time, Visa was stuck in this box, right?
Mm-hmm.
But once it broke above this level, we knew that it can move up with speed because look how empty. There's no volume here to stop it from just moving up with speed. So
Mm-hmm.
when you see these open gaps in the chart, it's almost equivalent to sometimes how you see like a stock will leave a gap between a candle. It's just showing you that it's literally no real obstacle here to stop it from moving or dropping very fast. Because if we go back and look at the drop on it, it probably dropped just as fast every time it gets in this range. You see how it just keep moving up really aggressive, like these $5-6, it just keep moving up in that range because of the lack of vol. It's illiquid. So nothing,
Yeah.
so it just can move quicker and you can visually see it. And so
Yeah.
it just gives you more confidence, what I'm saying, because you can see the trade easier.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because I be on the bottom list.
Yeah, yeah. That bottom, I mean, see, the bottom one has value as far as telling you, not just one bar, but like this is a good bar, you know what I'm saying, because you can see
Right.
that volume came in on this candle.
Mm-hmm.
And you see after that, you got this nice move right here.
Mm-hmm.
But it's valuable only when you can kind of see the trend and everything aligns with the volume, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Oh dang, I had found an example and then lost it. God dog it.
Hey, Sean, I got a question.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Hey, are you able to go over to the Black Wolf and kind of show the new wolves how to create a project? That way, can kind of keep everything cleaner and like everything kind of sync together.
Yeah. So I'm gonna teach on that. I'm gonna teach on the project thing. That what I found. You can double check it for me. But what I found out on the projects is that I was asking Black Wolf, is the project and Shon-TheWolf AI separate, or can he see the projects in the same way? And I think they're even though you can train them off of what your conversation is learning from these conversations, but it isn't the same as they haven't seamlessly synced them together yet, is what I found out. Because
Okay.
I had created the projects for them, and I was looking at the prompts and like how much it knows about. I was testing it in the project. I'm like, bro, how you supposed to know this about, saying the liquidity maps and blah blah blah. And it was like kind of like trying to make stuff up. And I'm like, just I put it in integrity mode and actually not to lie. And so it's smart like Shauna with AI because it's feeding off those conversations, but it is still in a project. It's still lacking the complete brain of the Shauna Wolf AI is what I'm trying to get to the bottom of with it to make sure before I start putting a lot of people inside of projects.
Okay, that makes sense. I did notice a difference between the two. That's why I was asking.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. I had found an example of that arc that I was trying. Oh, this right here is a decent one too. All right, so right here, you see how? Let's see, where's our floating candle at? All right, so you see how the WTMA, even though we're off of this cloud a little bit, we're hitting this resistance. That's not a good enough example. So the trades when the WTMA kind of lets you know ahead of time that when you get the trend line break, that it may pull the stock back down quicker. Is that even right here? This is not the best example because we had this historical resistance right here, but you see how the WTMA is raising up into the candle, and they're already trying to get back in the inside versus a trade where you have like room after the floating candle. Like here, you see how we got this nice space between the WTMA and the cloud, and it's not like the candles are already trying to close back in the inside to pull it back down. You can see that the timing of the breakout is going to be shorter lived if you breaking out and you already kind of getting back in the inside of that WTMA. Is going to try to snatch the price down once it gets trapped in the inside.
Okay.